Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV. I'm from Emmanuel Palace, dear viewers. We bring you this episode of Nile Cruise. Dear viewers, as summer approaches, Egypt's domestic tourism and industry gears up to welcome local travelers seeking memorable experiences within their own country. In recent years, there has been a growing emphasis on promoting domestic tourism as a means to stimulate economic growth, support local businesses, and showcase the country's rich cultural heritage and natural wonders to its own citizens. This trend, the view is further amplified by the global uncertainties surrounding international travel, making domestic destinations more appealing than ever before. And in this context, dear viewers, we have with us, and we are honored, dear viewers, to have our prominent guest, Mr. Emad Hamdy, who is a tourism expert, to tell us more. A very good day, sir, and it's a pleasure to have you with us in today's episode from a very wonderful place here in Egypt, and Nile, of course, dear viewers, at the heart of Cairo.
Pleasure.
Okay, sir, what are the best practices for creating affordable travel packages for Egyptian families, of course, here in Egypt, and of course, due to the circumstances nowadays, and of course, if a person, even an average standard person, or even a rich person, decides to travel abroad today, it's very expensive and costly.
Since we just opened the Museum of Civilization in 2021, the government have plans.
You mean the dynamic?
Yes.
Since Egyptian Museum of Civilization.
Yes, the Golden Parade. Yes, the government start to get plans just to improve the tourism in Egypt and to bring a lot of people, regardless their social standard. So we just got plans for making the tourism improved, and of course we just have the last 2 years in particular, we got thousands of tourists just came to Egypt, and they experienced different places like this place, which is called the Nile Palace Complex, which is one of the most famous places in Cairo. I know that the traffic here is not really like the other places.
Why, sir?
The problem is
how can we enhance this?
Well, that's should be got through the tourism agencies and the Ministry of Tourism itself. Unfortunately, we have some places not on the map of the tourism in Egypt, like the Nile Palace and other places like the Coptic Cairo, the Islamic Quarter. So we just need to look forward to have more traffic in these places, like we said, that's the Nile Complex.
Why, sir, don't we work on digital platforms, social media, Facebook, which enhances the people or the tourists to know more about these very important places, because they're of course, they're very important. And
you just already
discussing the Coptic Church, then we're still discussing Al-Mania and Masr al-Adima, where we have amazing archaeological sites. So why don't we discuss this constituency as a whole and the archaeological sites that this place has in total, and then let tourists choose?
Exactly. This is what you just mentioned, that we need to make more propaganda for these places and to make this on the social media, so to let everyone knows what's the place, what the importance of this place. It's considered a very important part of history. Many people think that the complex of the Nile Palace just dates back from the beginning of the 20th century, and this was absolutely wrong, because people who read the history know that the place goes back years and years ago. And I know that also the place is not really very famous among the Egyptians as well, because many of them know nothing. Unfortunately, let's say this is like one of the biggest problems, that the locals or the Egyptians in Egypt knew very not much information about the place, but they need to know more about the place and the importance of the place, and to bring more people to the place as well. That's through organizing like school trips, university trips for the students, just to let them know more about the place and its importance. And that's consequently will be a part of the propaganda for the tourists as well. So if we just let the people know what's the importance of the place, definitely they will bring more people just to come to Egypt.
Perfect, sir. Again, back to what you mentioned, if Masr al-Adima and Emad has, you said, Coptic church that are not witnessed, and we're in a constituency that has most of the churches that we do have all over Egypt. So this is again another problem that we are facing, because tourists, when they come, they want to go and visit archaeological sites, and churches are very important to them, and will be added value to us as Egyptians. So it's worth to work on. We are here from here as media platforms working on this, but the government has to work on the social media, and we have to, for example, the National Museum for Civilization and Dynamic, it's one of the places. The museum is very well known, and they have to put over their brochures or to tell, this is one of the main tasks of Dynamic, to tell people where to go.
Well, I just totally agree with what you said. The problem is that people, once they arrive to Egypt, they don't really have like much time in Cairo. Cairo is one of the biggest cities, not just in Egypt, but in the whole Africa. And we have a lot of sightseeings. The problem is the people don't really have much time just to see the highlights of Cairo. And you know that most of the programs just concentrating on the pyramids and the classical museum. But they don't really have much time just to see more places like this place or the Coptic Cairo.
Okay, sir, as a tourism expert, how do you read? We are on the verge of the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is going to be one of the biggest museums all over the world, or not only in the Middle East, of course.
That's right.
This is, and again, another challenge that's facing Egypt, because every single tourist that's going to come to Egypt is directly going to say, I want to go and visit the gem. When they go to visit the gem needs at least minimum, if they're not going to see anything, 3 days or 4 days. So that's at least half their trip. Not to consider all what we do have here in Egypt, not to mention that President Fattah al-Sisi now is working on the north coast. He's working on North Sinai to develop tourism over there, because tourism is very important for Egyptian economy. So we're going deeply into another problem and another challenge, where we're trying to do and promote our country. However, the tourists will come to Egypt, but they won't be able to see anything.
I agree with a part of what you said and disagree with another part. Just let's
This is the debate that we want.
Let's be more precise.
To make something constructive for our country.
Okay, so let's be more precise. The problem is we have a very traditional tourism programs. Okay.
We have to change this.
Okay. This is the thing that we are looking for, just to improve or to add more places for the people on their bucket lists. Because the problem is, we just received some people here, and they know nothing about Cairo. They think that Cairo or Giza have the pyramids and the museum, and that was what listed in their programs. But when they come over here and they see the palace like this, when they just pass by the palace, they said that, what's this place? They're asking and they're wondering if there is any chance to go and see it. If they have time, we just took them to see the palace or other places like the Coptic Cairo. So the problem is they have a very limited time in Cairo, and that needs a great work just to improve the programs and to give them more time in Cairo just to experience all these places. So in order to do this, this is a part for the task for the government. So they have to improve these programs. And on the other hand, the tourism agencies, they also have another task to do, which is improving these programs and to add more places, to let everyone know that this is a very important place and it needs more traffic just to cover these places as well.
Okay, sir, what types of summer
Well, there's a like you mean festivals or occasions? So
They
we
do. Last year there was in Al Amin City a lot, which we witnessed, and there were many singers that went and made many
so
festivals.
we did this recently at the pyramids. If you just see the like the events that the pyramids have, we just in 2018 we received a very famous concert, which is the Red Hot Chili Peppers at the pyramids, and nearly 20,000 people came just to attend this occasion. Fortunately, I was a part of it because I just met.
Unfortunately, you were a part of it.
Fortunately, I said fortunately, I was a part of it. I met personally Chad Smith, the drummer of the Red Hot Chili
That's
Peppers.
amazing.
So I went with him like for 3 hours in the Egyptian Museum, and people like when they saw him, many just people like got close to him and they said, "Sirs, we especially came for the concert of the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the pyramid." So imagine that some people like came specially for the concert, and they
Sir,
suddenly.
sorry to interrupt you in this context.
Yeah.
Of course, we all have children, and all the children, when such people come to Egypt and celebrities come to Egypt, they want to go and watch of course, the different concerts that they hold here in Egypt, especially if it's in a wonderful location like the pyramids. However, don't you see that the tickets are really overrated?
I totally agree. I totally agree.
Overrated to an to a to a to a very unbelievable level.
I totally agree, but we also have, on the other hand, we have a very good propaganda for the place. So if like,
Sir, the main issue here when we come to discuss such concerts that are held in the pyramids, most of the people that attend these concerts where celebrities, foreign celebrities, come to Egypt to handle their all the people that go, or most of the people are going, not tourists, they are Egyptians.
I know,
So when you pay like $5,000 for a ticket,
not really $5,000,
$1,000, it's 50,000 pounds fare for a child,
roughly, yes.
for your daughter to go for a
I know that
concert.
many people can afford the expenses of attending a
There is
concert
a
like this.
category that can afford,
Yes,
but,
yes,
but
definitely. Yeah.
it's insane.
Yes, yes, definitely. But on the other hand, that makes a very good propaganda for your country and for the
I can't
tourism in
deny,
Egypt.
sir, but we've worked hard on many events. I can't mention names, unfortunately,
Yeah.
here in Egypt, at the pyramids, and I think we don't need any more propaganda for the pyramids for the time being. At least after the last wedding that was held, where an
Yes,
Indian came all
yes,
the way to make his wedding here at the site of the pyramids, and he did not do only at the pyramids. By the way, it was
in the palace as
Abdin
well.
Palace. It was Abdin Palace. It was Muhammad Ali
Ali,
in
Ministerially.
Shobra,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was Mani al-Shiha where they took the boat and they went all
True.
through.
Yeah.
Mani al-Shiha or no, it was Jazeerat al-Dahab.
جزيرة الذهب.
So they
Yes.
went to and they went to the Grand Egyptian Museum. So it was 4 days. It was a 4-day wedding, which made propaganda for all Egyptians and all of Egypt, and of course it was of all pride. But I still think that there are other places here in Egypt that we have to work on, whether wedding planners or whether touristic experts like you, sir, that we have to work on, because we need to make propaganda for these places. These places are done. Everybody knows them all around the world, and we
Yeah.
all know that when we go to the to the pyramids, make weddings at the pyramids,
True.
then we have it all.
Yeah, but we need also, on the other hand, to give more facilities for those who want to film some movies in Egypt. For example, we just got the story of the God for Morgan Freeman, like in the pyramids as well.
This is
So
the government, sir. It's not us.
I know, but
So the government has to facilitate.
I mean that when
an
you see,
amazing celebrity and a movie star goes to the pyramid and he's not allowed to enter,
I
then,
mean,
then we're
today,
facing a very big problem.
the crew that when they just go to the pyramids or wherever in the museum or anywhere else, sorry, they just suddenly they see a celebrity or like a famous star in the pyramids or wherever. That makes a very good propaganda as well, not just the events or the ceremonies that was held in the pyramids.
Okay, sir, what are we supposed to be working on here in Egypt.
Different
Of
things.
course, to enhance local tourism, and on the other side, to enhance tourism in general in a very professional, in a very experienced means. To touch every archaeological site that we have in this country, because there's no country all over the world. Of course, I know Russia, and I know what they do have in Russia, St. Petersburg, and the amazing archaeological sites they have. I'm not underestimating other countries, but I have to mention here, an Egyptian, that we do have most of the we're the cradle of civilization all over the world. So at the end of the day, how do we have to enhance every single site that we do have here in Egypt for every tourist to know about before they come to Egypt and reach Egypt? And people just meet them at the airport and take them all over Egypt. And there has to be a very organized program for the visiting every single archaeological site of this country.
First of all, the government plans just to improve the places and to let many people
Under
come.
the auspices of the Ministry
I mean, the
of
logistics.
Tourism.
The
This
logistics.
is under
Under the Minister of the Tourism. The logistics of
Dr.
the
Khalid
place.
Aissa?
Yes.
Okay, he has to work on it.
I mean, to improve the roads and the logistics, the visitor centers in every place, not just in the famous sightseeings. I mean, like, it's nonsense to go to Old Cairo and you didn't find a nearby bathroom or a loo for the people, especially that we receive a lot of people who have old ages and they need like a nearby washroom or a bathroom. I think this is nonsense. So we need to improve this to have more facilities and logistics in all the places, especially the places which is not really very famous. On the other hand, we need to do this on the itineraries of the programs that the people or the tourism agencies working on every year. I mean that, like the last year we received thousands of people in Old Cairo. That was quite phenomenal because we didn't see this like years ago. So this is one of the things that we need to work on.
Oh, and we need to start from the airport, sir.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's about time.
It's about time, yeah.
What or is the plan that the country Egypt should be working on professionally to reach its maximum level of tourism?
Well,
Because
like
we have
we mentioned.
Hurghada, we have Sharm el-Sheikh, we have Taba, we have Dahab, we have
Programs.
it all. We have the beaches, we have the archaeological sites, we have everything.
We have
We're
different
better
types
than
of
Nice and
tourism.
Cannes. We're better than Saint-Tropez. So we have to work on this.
There is a
And we have to work hard. So
Yeah.
let's send a message to Dr. Khalid Aissa from here, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, that we have to work very hard on the tourism sector, because this is the main sector for Egypt's economy, and we all know this, and we have to be very, very hard-working when it comes to this. We as media people, we're working hard and trying to enhance it, but the only thing that we can do is talk about it.
Yes.
And complain about it and say that we
Not
have...
really complaints, but just to tell.
If I do have archaeological sites like in Manial Palace in Egypt that's not on the map when the tourist is coming,
Unfortunately,
no, I'll complain about it.
It unfortunately is not on the map. I know that people who came here before, like 3-4 times, they never been told about the Manial Palace, and they just got astonished when they just saw the complex for their first time, and they said that how come that you have a very beautiful complex like this located in the middle of the city and no one knows anything about it. So it's the problem of the propaganda, it's the problems of the plans, it's the problems of the itineraries that the tourism agency is working on, the facilities and the logistics that should be organized by the government. So there's different things that everyone should know that we should work on it the next few years in order to bring more people to our country.
Mr. Emad Hamdy, of course, a tourism expert. We thank you very much for your informative knowledge. Thank you very much for being with us. We hope from this interview we take it from there and we start to work hard on our tourism in our country, because tourism in Egypt is too big for any country globally. So we have to work hard as media people, as tourism experts, of course, sir. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for your informative knowledge. I'll count on you to work hard and talk it loud, and we will move forward, hopefully under the auspices of the Minister of Tourism, Dr. Khalid Aissa, of course, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, and of course under the directives of President Abdel Fattah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Dear viewers, stay tuned. I'll be back.